Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 1 out of lesson 5 of the beginner's drum course with myself, Steve Howard. So 5 lessons here, 5 beginner lessons, starting with the very basics. Okay, you've never played drums before, this is going to be your first lesson. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to talk about how to hold the drumstick. Okay, now we're talking match grip here, which basically means your hands are going to be matching each other. Okay, we want a nice pinch with our thumb and first finger, and we want to leave about an inch at the bottom of the stick. That will enable the stick to pivot freely. Okay, and pivot is the key word here. We want the stick to pivot in this fulcrum, in this grip with our thumb and first finger. The rest of the fingers, we're not really gripping the stick as such, but we're just supporting it, and then later on as you progress, then fingers will come into play and you can use them. But for now, nice and lightly, just supporting that stick. Your main grip is that thumb and first finger. Okay, so now we've got our grip. I think it's really important to learn notation, even if it's just basic notation. It'll just help you get through and help you progress. Then you can look at other videos and just help yourself just progress a bit more. Okay, so the first 2 notes we're going to look at today are quarter notes, which are crotchets, and eighth notes, which are quavers. Okay, now I like to use drink names because I think drink names helps us remember, but certainly when we're starting off. So for quarter notes, I use the word T. So quarter notes simply go T, 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 T. So just get used to playing one hand after the other. Let's do it after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you're right-handed, obviously, we're always going to lead generally with our right hand. And if you're left-handed, you lead with your left hand. So the eighth notes, the quavers, the drink name that I use is going to be coffee. Okay, and it simply sounds like this. I'm going to play 4 coffees in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coffee, 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 coffee. This time you join in. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are your 2 notes in this first lesson. Okay, we've got the T's and the coffees. Okay, next lesson we'll move on to another note, and then we'll start to put them all together and play them around the kit. But for now, 2 notes, T's, coffees. So let's talk about the drum kit. Now we've got lots of drums and cymbals around me. I'm not even going to mention this half of the kit today. We're just simply going to be looking at hi-hat, which is this here. 2 cymbals on top of each other, kept down with your foot. Normally, if you take your foot off, they're off. Or sorry, they're up. If you put your foot on the pedal, they close. And that's where we want it today, in our closed position. So we're going to be playing the hi-hat, the snare drum, which is this drum in front of us, and the kick, which is the bass drum. Okay, so the basic rock beat I'm going to be talking you through today goes like this. Sure, you've heard that loads before. It's in so many songs. Let's break it down. We're just going to do the hands to start with. In fact, we're going to do our hi-hat, and we're going to count this. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Join in. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. We're going to now add the snare drum on the 2. And it's going to be at the same time as the hi-hat. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2. One more. 1 and 2 and. Okay. Now, this is where the fun starts. Okay, this is where the coordination creeps in. We're going to add the kick. We're going to add the bass drum on the 1. Okay, so the hi-hat is playing continuously 1 and 2 and then the kick, we're now going to play on the 1 with the hi-hat. Okay, so the kick's going to be on the 1 with the hi-hat, the snare's going to be on the 2 with the hi-hat. So let's do it slowly. It goes 1 and 2 and 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 Now, before we did this rock beat, I mentioned music and notation. I think it's really important to learn notation. I think it helps us advance and learn a lot quicker. So, the notation is going to pop up on the screen now, or on the screen, let's put it down here. And this is how it looks. The crosses at the top are our hi-hats. So they're going to be our right hand. Obviously, if you're left-handed, it's the other way around. But hi-hat at the top, the crosses at the top. The snare drum is in the middle. Okay, think of it logically. Hi-hat at the top, snares in the middle. So you have, you're going to guess it now. Bass drum is going to be at the bottom. Okay, so the bass drum's at the bottom, snare in the middle, hi-hat at the top. With the notation, the rock beat looks and sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 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 1. One thing I didn't mention earlier, guys, was I think it's also really important to keep your palms facing down. You will do lots of things when you first start learning. You put your fingers on top of the stick, you'll have your thumb and first finger not in the right place, your hand will be too far back. All these things will creep into play, but if you can just remember thumb and first finger on the stick, the rest of your fingers just gently supporting the stick, inch or so at the back sticking out, and palms facing down, shoulder width apart. That will really, really, really help. So that is your first lesson today, guys. There's 4 more to come after this, so keep an eye out for these. Hopefully it's made sense. If you haven't got a drum kit, you can do it on your lap, hi-hat on your left leg, snare drum underneath, kick on the floor, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and it's a really, really good way of learning and practicing if you haven't got a drum kit or you can't get on a kit much. But yeah, so look out for lesson 2. Have some fun, guys. See you soon.